Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Reform Will Fix It local election tour. Live from Arnley in the county of West Sussex. Please welcome political commentator and broadcaster, Charlie Rowley.
Good evening, Sussex! You can do better than that. I said good evening, Sussex! Hello and welcome to Reform UK's local election tour 2026! Yes! Are you excited? You should be. We have been all over the country so far. We've started off in the Isle of Wight. We've been to Basingstoke. We've been to Thurrock, Swindon, Ipswich. We were in Leeds last night. And here we are tonight, bringing you the Reform UK We Will Fix It local election tour. Looking forward to it? Yeah. And what a lineup we have for you tonight. To run down some of the speakers we have. Your chairman, Dr. David Bull, is in the house. Big love for Dr. David. Your Shadow Home Secretary, Zia Yusuf, is here. Big love for Zia. And, of course, someone you might have heard of, your leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage, is in the building. Now, tonight would be nothing if it wasn't for you. The majority of people in this room are local residents who have come down tonight to hear what Reform UK have to offer, just ahead of those all-important elections on the 7th of May. But we're also delighted to be joined by candidates, people that are standing in this patch, but also just party members, people who have decided that they need to join Reform to get the change that they want to see. And as I say, tonight is all about you, and so we're going to come around and talk to a few of you now. It's my favourite part of the evening. It's when everyone starts to relax. Now then, I think we'll start here, if that's okay. This lovely row here, you're looking up at me now. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name, sir?
Charles Dobson.
Charles, and where are you from?
I'm from Crowborough.
From Cromer. Anyone from Cromer here?
Crowborough.
Sorry?
Crowborough.
Oh, I beg your
Quite a
pardon.
long way from Cromer.
Quite a long way. Okay. And who have we got with you here?
Celia from Crawley.
Also from Crawley?
Crawley, yeah.
Very good.
Ellie from Littlehampton.
Very good, very good. And finally, sir?
John Worthy.
Oh, there's fans in at the back. And why are you all here tonight? What's brought you out today?
Because this party, this group of people, I'm 80, and they are the ones that have got the guts to rescue this country from the muck it's in today.
Well said there, well said. Well, come on down, we'll find a few other people. This is the tricky bit where I walk backwards, which I hope is not the direction of my career. Who knows? We'll stop with you, if I may. Hello, you're looking lovely in blue here, and you're wearing a Reform badge. Hello, what's your name?
Wendy.
Wendy and?
I'm Vanessa.
And Vanessa, very nice.
Vanessa, Sagoshan.
Very nice to meet you all. And are you members, supporters, or just...
Candidate.
You're candidates? Oh, yes. Amazing. Where are you standing?
In Broadfield.
Oh, there we go. I think there was one vote there that you've picked up this evening already from that whistle. Are you a candidate as well? Or?
I'm a candidate in Surrey, and I'm representing the Sagoshan, and there's a lot of Sagoshan in Crawley. That's why we are here with all the members of the Sagoshan.
Look at this row here. Fabulous stuff. Well, thank you very much for putting yourselves forward. We'll keep coming down. We'll keep coming down. A man very keen to avoid eye contact with me. Something I'm used to, I'm afraid. We'll come here if I can. Now, madam, can we have a quick chat with you?
Yes, of course.
What's your name and why are you here this evening?
Sylvia. First Reform thing I've ever been to, so it's wonderful.
Welcome. Big round of applause there. First night out. So this will be really important because you say it's your first time here at a Reform...
a thing like as big as this,
a
yes.
political sort of engagement.
Yes, that's right.
So why did you feel the need on Wednesday night, where the weather hasn't been that great outside,
it's been dreadful, hasn't it?
but it's bright
No.
enough in here, isn't it, folks?
I badgered my poor old husband to drive all this way because we live in Pulborough.
Right.
Lovely place. And yeah,
But you were both motivated to come here this evening for the first time. Why exactly?
oh, just marvellous. We just want to show our support, I suppose, yes.
Show your support for Nigel for the party.
Indeed, yes.
And for you, sir? You're happy to be here, or were you just the driver?
Just the driver.
Just the driver, okay, thank you very much. We'll keep walking down. Hello. Well, let's go up the back here, shall we? There's a lovely row here. Nice young couple of people here. Hello, are we disturbing you this evening?
No, not at all.
What brings you all out here tonight?
Just need change.
We need change.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Okay. Are you both local?
Handcross.
Handcross?
Yeah.
Very nice. Are you all together?
Yes, mum and dad.
Mum and Dad over here. Now, Mum and Dad, let me come around here. It might be easier for the camera. Family affair. A bit strange, some people might say, for to come out to a political event like this on a Wednesday night. But to bring a whole family, that means that there's something that you're really worried about, I think, as a family. Tell us about that.
The country. Something needs to be done. It can't stay as it is. It's now. It's got to be now.
Okay. And do you feel the same?
Yeah.
I mean, do you worry? These are your kids here?
I worry about them. I worry about my grandchildren. What future they're going to have unless there's change.
Yep. Do we agree with that, ladies and gentlemen? I think we do. There we are. Well, you've heard it here from members of the public. Well, very quickly, before we have a lovely interview with two people that are coming to join us this evening, there is a stand here that says Stand for Us. That's for Reform UK. If you feel the need that you can put your name forward, if you can put your head above the parapet, if you feel actually that your country needs change, your local community needs change, and you want to become a candidate, there will be a lovely volunteer, I'm sure, at the end of the evening to take your details and talk you through it. But we're going to head over to our lovely studio here. And while we do that, can we get some appreciation for the studio today? Look at the set. What do you think? You won't get this anywhere else, I don't suppose. And they're already in position, aren't they, ladies and gentlemen? Here we are. I'm delighted that we're going to have a couple of words now with two brilliant young members of Reform. One you will recognise as a councillor, one is a candidate. Please show your appreciation for George Finch and Grainne Conway. Now, lovely stuff. Hello both, lovely to see you. Are you well?
Yes, wow.
thank you.
Getting old.
Yeah. You're feeling old. Well, George, are you 19 still?
Yes.
19, and you are the leader of Warwickshire County Council.
Yeah.
A lot of appreciation for that, because I think most people recognise who might know about local government, who've worked in it, the amount of work that goes into, A, being a councillor, but also how rewarding it is. I just want to ask you about 19. What is it like waking up every morning knowing, A, that you're the leader of a county council, but the responsibility and the job that you've got to do?
Well, look, like I said from day one, it is tough. But for me, it's water off a duck's back. There's a lot of comments, people say things. But at the end of the day, if you've got the community's back, they'll have yours. So that's why I wake up every morning fighting for what I believe in, because at the end of the day, it's my future as well. It's the residents' future, so I have to keep fighting for that, and I can't just sit on my hands and acquiesce and allow things to get worse, because in my view, you will become complicit in the failings of government.
And, yep, support in the room. And this is a slightly devil's advocate style question, because, I think all people should be getting involved in politics at whatever age. But you're only 19. You could be doing something else. You could be, having a good time outside of the stresses and the strains that comes with politics. Why did you, at such a young age, which you are, still want to, A, get involved in politics, but more specifically, why Reform?
Well, look, someone said to me when I first started getting involved in Reform, I was the associate chairman for North Warwickshire and Bedworth, and we got every single candidate elected. And someone said to me, 18-year-olds have fought and died for this country. I think an 18, 19-year-old can stand to be a councillor, and then to lead that council, which is the biggest honour of my life, to lead the council from Bedworth, which is where I live, it's absolutely amazing to see. And there has been some huge challenges, especially fighting off the establishment. You know, many people have seen, you know, over the last week or two that the lefty, loony chaos of the coalition of chaos tried to put a vote of no confidence in against me as the leader of Warwickshire County Council. But it just goes to show that we fought that off as Reform, supported by our Conservatives, because we all felt that the betterment of Warwickshire was to be having an administration that is led by centre-right parties like Reform UK, so we can do what the people asked us to do. And we want to make sure that councils, not just in Warwickshire, but up and down this country, are member-led, councillor-led, not officer-led. And that's what I had to do from day one. And many people shouted me down for it, that we have to make sure councillors control their councils.
Well, there's a lot of appreciation for that, George, obviously. But let's turn from being a councillor and leader of a council to a candidate. Now, Grainne, have I pronounced your name right, first of all? You must correct me if I've got it wrong.
You've got it right.
I've got it right! There we are. Thank goodness. Now, first-time candidate, are you standing for Reform UK?
Yes.
And what made you decide that you wanted to become a councillor and for Reform?
Well, I'm really delighted to be here. I first moved to London back in 2009, and I was so excited about moving to England, moving to London, one of the best cities in the world, land of opportunity. There was a buzz and an excitement. And over the years of being here, I've seen that decrease. I've seen a population become demoralised. I've seen young people find it harder to get on the housing ladder, people paying more and more tax but not seeing anything for it, services getting worse, NHS getting worse, road services getting worse, but we keep paying more and more. And I think as time has gone on, politics has become harder and harder to ignore. I think the British population, we tend to get on with things, just keep working. We hope everything's going to be okay in the end. And we can all see collectively that things are really going in the wrong direction. Things are not getting better. Our leaders just seem to be, one after the other, worse than the last. Starmer's the least popular Prime Minister ever, and we've had a couple of bad ones before him. So it was just...
You may have one or two people that agree with that.
Yeah.
Good to hear. But you're absolutely right. And where are you standing? Sorry, tell us.
I'm going to be standing in Crawley.
Great. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Lots of Crawley residents in this evening. And so when you put yourself forward as a candidate, you must have thought, right, for Crawley, something needs to change.
Yes.
What are the key issues there that you think really need to be sort of dealt with? And that might be just local to Crawley, but that might impact, as I suspect it does, right across the country in George's patch also.
Oh, I think it's a mixture of local issues and national issues. You know, I've worked for the NHS for a long time. I can see the pressures and strains and things not getting better. Moving to Crawley, I can see, you know, such a vast population increasing all the time, the housing pressure, and then with regards to migrant hotels, Crawley was one of the worst hit. Since Starmer has come into power, we have had a 128% increase in migrant hotels in Crawley, the highest increase across the whole country. And they get snuck in the dead of night. You know, the government thinks we're not going to notice, but we do notice. It changes our towns, it changes our cities, it changes the way we behave. And it's not fair. You know, a social contract has been broken between the people and the government. And that is, it's really motivating for saying, you know what, where is my local reform branch?
Yeah. I think that was fantastic. You said, is that the same in Warwickshire, George?
Yeah, I think the people of Warwickshire have completely lost faith in institutions like the police and with councils. And I do genuinely believe that Reform UK is the only party that can bring back that faith into politics. Because at the end of the day, every candidate, they're real people. They have a pint at the pub. You know, they go to walk down the town centre. They're known. You know, when I walk through Bedworth, people say, cheers, mate. Thank you for fixing that pothole. You know, potholes, a pandemic of potholes across, not just Warwickshire, but this country. You know, and Reform UK, the first thing we did when we got in is start changing the highways maintenance contract so we can get those fixed using innovative technologies like JCB Pothole Pro. You know, using technologies like that can fix it more efficiently. And you know what? The taxpayer doesn't have to pay as much. So that means it's better for you, the residents. That's what we're there for. Not about me, not about the other councillors, it's about you, the people.
And my very final question to you both, very quickly, what do you want to see come 7th, 8th of May this year?
Well, for me, I'd like to see more council leaders so that the pressure's off me for once. But I think just to see a huge flurry of Reform councillors in Warwickshire on last May. There was 42 Conservative councillors. Overnight, 9. Obliterated. That's what we want to do up and down this country to both Labour, the Conservatives and the Lib Dems, because we cannot allow them to have control of our councils any longer. It has to be Reform.
Well said there, George. And Grainne, same question to you. What do you want to see on the 7th of May?
Well, we're going to be working really, really hard from here until 7th of May, canvassing, knocking on doors. We're hoping as many people will come out as possible to help us with that fight. What I want to see is all seats covered by Reform so that everyone has a chance to vote Reform. We don't want any areas where people want to vote, but there's no candidate standing. So we want as many people putting themselves forward as possible. And then on the 8th of May, we can celebrate that we, after 6-7 long years of the current council, where they tried to cancel elections in this area, that we'll finally have a new council with the politics of hope, politics of unity, and to bring this country back together.
Well, there you are. I think you'll have a lot of people wanting to celebrate with you there. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up to my two wonderful guests. We've got Councillor George Finch and one of your candidates, Grainne Conway. Now, in order, though, to become a candidate, you first have to be a member of Reform UK, and there is no one I can think of better leading the charge to drive up membership. It's your chairman of Reform UK, Dr. David Ball.
Well, a very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie, thank you so much. And of course, you and I go back a long way to our days on Talk TV. Weekend Breakfast, many of you know that show that I used to host. Hasn't he done a brilliant job tonight, ladies and gentlemen? And thank you so much to both of our guests as well. You know, something is going on around this country. There is no doubt where I go in this country, the whole country seems to be turning towards Reform UK, and that is something that I think everyone around the country wants to see. Would you not agree? Gentlemen, Charlie Rowley. Well, a very good evening to you all. Let me tell you, I'm so delighted to be here in Sussex, a county known for its rich history and, of course, its heritage. As you know, it is home to the scenic South Downs, amazing medieval castles, and, of course, it is the home of Winnie the Pooh. Now, yeah, Sussex is also, of course, where the Battle of Hastings was fought in 1066. It was one of the most critical and intense battles seen in British history. And let me tell you, we face another critical battle as we fight for the future of the United Kingdom, and we fight together. This is a very interesting county because, of course, it was a Tory stronghold. But when you look at the latest polling, as I did today, it shows the Tory vote here across this area has completely collapsed. And the latest data shows that Reform UK is now on track to win an astonishing 4 parliamentary seats across Sussex. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing short of extraordinary, is it not? So tonight, some of you here are supporters of the party. Some of you are members. But many of you have never had an affiliation with a political party. And some of you here tonight refuse to vote because you know you will be ignored. And I don't blame you. It is clear the establishment do not care what people like you think. And that is why I believe the whole blinking political lot need to be booted out of office tomorrow. Now, look, we had a choice. Instead of sitting back and watching the decline of this once great nation, Nigel, Richard Tice, and I decided to do something about it. We founded Reform UK just, wait for this, 5 years ago. Only 5 years ago. And just look at this wild journey that we have been on. Now, the media and the political commentariat keep telling us, oh, David, you've peaked. They told me that when we were at 2%. When I was deputy leader, they told me that again. We were polling at 9%. And look at us now, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are polling at an astonishing 30%, and we are climbing every single day. You see, here is the really inconvenient truth for the journalists. We are the fastest growing political party in this country. We are now the largest political party in this country. And since I've been chairman, we have gained 5,000 new members every single month of my tenure. We now have 8 members of parliament, and we are not stopping there. We have led the last 250 opinion polls, and of course, the latest polls put us on course to win a thumping parliamentary majority, and I say bring that on as well. So that completely changes the political arena, does it not? Because we will kick out big Labour figures. We will say goodbye to Rachel Reeves. Oh, it gets better. We say goodbye to Angela Rayner. And look, my favourite of all, Mad Ed Miliband, bite the dust. Now, on a very serious note, I believe passionately that Reform UK is the last chance to save this great country. I really do. And I am not alone. I've been around this country and I'm seeing people venting anger and frustration as I travel the length and breadth of the United Kingdom. I have been on the road for the last 9 months doing my chairman's tour, our party conference, and of course these rallies. I have seen over 20,000 people in this country. And across the country, that message could not be clearer. This current government is the worst any of us have ever seen in our lifetimes. This government, ladies and gentlemen, is directionless, it's rudderless, it's devoid of principles, it lacks policies, it lacks any kind of coherence. And great countries like Great Britain need a great leader. What do we have? Keir Starmer. Yes, he is a failed human rights lawyer who prefers Davos to Devon. He is a man who languishes with a net approval rating of, wait for this, -47. In fact, at this point, his approval rating is so bad that the taxman, rail replacement buses, and even the M25 at rush hour are more popular than the Prime Minister. It's very simple. This Labour government is out of ideas and it is out of time. They have absolutely no idea what they are doing. They are like a supermarket trolley with a wonky wheel. They are all over the shop. Now, the government knows it is in deep trouble. It's lashing out. It's grasping at straws. Now, they keep accusing Reform UK of wanting to privatise the NHS. You've heard this, haven't you? Repeatedly. Well, as a medical doctor, Also, by the way, I wrote our health policy. This is a blatant lie. It smacks of desperation, and under a Reform UK government, the NHS will remain and continue to remain free at the point of need. But you see, it's not just Labour. They're not the only liars in town. The Tories also betrayed your trust. The Tories broke Britain. They bankrupted this country. They implemented austerity and they left us with open borders. And ladies and gentlemen, they were totally and utterly irresponsible. And given those two main parties have abjectly failed this country, some people are turning to Ed Davey and the Lib Dems in desperation. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what I call desperate. Now, that really only leaves Zach Polanski and the Green Party. Yeah. So you can consider the Green Party. Now, in case you're in any doubt, as a medical doctor, let me give you my clinical... Let me give you my clinical diagnosis on Zach Polanski. It's complicated, it's scientific. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Polanski is utterly bonkers. Now, we were in Leeds last night, and my speech in Leeds, I mentioned him there. It seems to have rather rattled him. Hi, Zach, if you're watching, thanks for the mention. Now, let me be very clear. The Green Party, on a very serious note, is a major threat to British national security. They're a party more interested in Gaza than Great Britain. Let me be very clear. You cannot trust the Greens with your vote. So, why should you back us? Well, when you vote for reform, you get reform. Just look at the difference we've made already running our councils. In County Durham, Reform UK has scrapped stupid net zero schemes. We have saved tens of millions of pounds. In Derbyshire, Reform has cleared the pothole backlog we inherited from 17,000 down to 0 in our first 10 months. And in West Northamptonshire, Reform served notice on all 3 asylum hotels in the area, and let me tell you, we are determined to shut every single asylum hotel permanently in this country. But look, now we need your help. This is your chance to be part of our movement and also change British political history. We need people to stand for us at these elections, which are in just over 6 weeks' time. If you, sitting here tonight, are up for the challenge, please apply online via our website. And I want to end by saying this. In 43 days, on May the 7th, this is your opportunity to vote. Now, for far too long, you have been taken for granted, you have been ignored, and you have been let down. And that can end now. This is your chance to change your future. And ladies and gentlemen, the way to do that is to vote for Reform UK. Well, our first speaker tonight is a man who burst onto the political scene in the run-up to the last general election. He was actually my predecessor as chairman of Reform UK. He played a pivotal role in the party's huge success at last year's local elections. He is now Reform UK's Shadow Home Secretary, but before we meet him, let's see him in action.
We have all the momentum in British politics, and we are just getting started. Working people in Britain feel betrayed. They see the nation and the culture that we love being robbed from underneath them. 1 in every 25 people in Britain today arrived in the last 5 years. Britain has been overwhelmed by immigration, both legal and illegal. We will secure our borders. We will deport people who are in this country illegally. We will keep British people safe. Nigel Farage, as our Prime Minister, will make Britain poised, proud, prosperous and powerful. And we will leave a Britain for our children of which we can be proud. Thank you very much, Reform UK.
From Zia Yusuf. Welcome.
Hello, Reform UK! Are you having a good night? Yes. Good. Because I want to start by taking a moment to appreciate all of you. Appreciate all reformers and what we've achieved together. I want you to think back to the 3rd of June, 2024. It was a lovely summer morning, and Nigel Farage tweeted that he was going to make an emergency announcement. He even used one of those siren emojis. And he stood before the country's media, and he announced his candidacy to be the Member of Parliament, to be the next Member of Parliament for Clacton-on-Sea. And he announced that he would return to lead Reform UK. Now, back then, the bookies gave him a mere 30% chance of becoming the next MP for Clacton. Now, fast forward to today. Look around you, everyone. Look at what we have achieved together. Reform has hundreds of thousands of members. We built over 500 branches across this great country. We have made history, sweeping the board in the local elections last May, and now have almost 1,000 Reform councillors. We've led 250 national polls in a row. And I'm pleased to report, ladies and gentlemen, that Mr. Nigel Farage is the bookmaker's favourite to be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom! But look, I've got to be honest, today is actually a very dark day in British politics, and it's important that we talk about it. Because for years, Labour and the Tories have gorged themselves on fat donations from all sorts of shady characters. Reform has subsisted on a relative pittance and still run rings around the Uni Party. But recently, Reform received a pretty large donation from an upstanding British citizen. That donation was perfectly above board, perfectly lawful. So how did Keir Starmer respond? By weaponizing the instruments of state to persecute his political opponent. He commissioned a civil servant named Philip Rycroft to write a report on stopping, and I quote here, foreign interference in British politics. The result? Well, the report published this afternoon said a new law was going to come into force to place a cap on what that donor could give us in the future. And it would be retroactive to take effect from when? Today. Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, these are the actions of a dictator in a banana republic. Starmer is an authoritarian. He cancels elections he's going to lose. He surveils anti-government speech. And now he chokes off perfectly legitimate funding for his political rivals. Well, we have a message for Starmer. You're already the most unpopular Prime Minister in this country's history, and your authoritarian attempts to crush us will not work. They will only make Reform stronger! And you know, isn't it fascinating? Isn't it fascinating how fast the machinery of government can move when it's protecting itself? It's unbelievable. Choking legitimate funding for his political opponent, instant. It can happen in weeks. The Uni Party can do that pretty much instantly. When it comes to stopping the boats, or deporting illegal migrants, or ensuring violent criminals are in jail, oh, that takes years, according to the Uni Party. When it comes to justice for the rape gang survivors, that takes decades, according to the Uni Party. Well, here's my message to you. I promise you that when Reform is in power, we will move at the speed of light to secure our borders, deport all illegal migrants, and ensure that all those involved in the rape gangs and their cover-up face the heaviest possible price for their crimes. And look, for years, the Tory Labour Uni Party has looked the other way while the very fabric of the society we love has been under attack. We've been told to just accept open borders, that a country that spends £60 billion a year on defence should just stand powerless as men arrive in small boats day after day. That we should just shrug as our streets change, knife crime goes through the roof, and that traditions and the culture of Britain are heartbreakingly eroded. Well, I want to say to you that these things are not inevitable. They are the deliberate choices of weak men and weak women who lack the courage, lack the spine and the moral clarity to defend the country they were elected to serve. But here's the thing. I don't accept this. Nigel Farage does not accept this. And I know you do not accept this. And that's why a reform government will end it. And a reform government will also confront the truth that our country is being invaded. And I know many in the establishment gasp at that word. They may well clutch their pearls in their television studios. But the dictionary definition of invasion is an incursion by a large number of people in an unwanted way. Almost 200,000 people have broken into our country across the English Channel over the last 8 years alone. That is more than stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. As Home Secretary, I will end and reverse this invasion. Because the patience of the great British people is simply exhausted. We're no longer willing to accept that Britain's borders should just be open and undefended, with nothing we can do about it. We're not going to accept any longer that Britain should simply surrender its sovereignty to foreign courts. This is a national security emergency. It is time to put the British people first. That is why, upon winning the next election, a reform government will launch an unprecedented emergency program to track down, detain, and deport all illegal immigrants in the United Kingdom. Operation Restoring Justice will be the most transformative policy, I believe, of our lifetimes. Now, many shrill voices in the mainstream media have already called our plan draconian. Here's our response. The United Kingdom is being invaded. Tens of thousands of military-aged men continue to arrive on our beaches illegally. Our plan is the only appropriate response to a national security emergency. It will immediately stop the boats by sending a crystal clear message that being in our country illegally now has an ironclad consequence: immediate detention and removal. Deportation is the ultimate deterrent. And as Prime Minister, Nigel will direct every instrument of state to ensure illegal migrants are removed from this country. We will pass the Illegal Migration Mass Deportation Act. And the draftsmen who worked on these laws, I know because I commissioned them, were given a crystal clear instruction that when Nigel is Prime Minister, there will not be a judge in the country that will be able to prevent a single deportation flight from leaving this country. We will create a legal obligation for the Home Secretary to deport all those in the country illegally and disapply every single international treaty that would otherwise be used to keep illegal migrants in this country. We will pass a law that makes clear that if you come to this country illegally, you will never be granted asylum. End of story. And, you know, a lot of the press has said, oh, Reform are going to create some sort of ICE-style agency. Well, guess what? We will create a new agency, UK Deportation Command, and they will have one mission and one mission only, to relentlessly track down, detain, and deport every single person who is in this great country without permission. We will embark on the most audacious charter flight operation since World War II, ramping deportation flights to 5 departures every single day. And to guarantee success, His Majesty's Royal Air Force will keep a Voyager aircraft on standby as a hot spare. So even if a plane has mechanical issues, flights won't be stopped and deportations will not be delayed. Return agreements will be secured. Countries of origin will take back their nationals. And if a country refuses, well, guess what? We will simply stop issuing visas to that country. And that is why, as Home Secretary, I will immediately cease the issuance of visas for countries including Sudan, Somalia, Eritrea, Syria, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. Reform deeply values the traditions that built this great nation. And we're never going to apologize for our great history. We will defend our culture because a nation without a culture is not a nation. It's just an economic zone. It's a shopping mall with a flag just waiting to be exploited. And that's why we will protect and defend the Christian heritage of Britain. And we will end the incendiary practice of converting churches into mosques. I'm proud to say that a Reform government will immediately grant listed status to all churches and create a new statutory use category for Christian places of worship to ensure that these historic pillars of our communities can never be converted into places of worship for any other faith. And a Reform government will also do something the Labour refused to do and the Tories failed to do in their 14 years in government. We will run an accelerated inquiry through a committee in Parliament to get to the bottom of the despicable crimes of the rape gangs that have terrorised young girls in this country for decades. And I give you my word, we will leave no stone unturned to ensure justice for the victims and their families. We will ensure that the demonic perpetrators and the officials who enable them, by not only turning a blind eye, but also in some cases partaking in these disgusting crimes, that they are all brought to justice and made to pay a heavy price for their crimes. Now, we all know that people, human beings, they simply respond to incentives. And for too long, witless politicians have created an incentive for people to come to Britain and take advantage of the goodwill of you. Your goodwill. The goodwill of the lovely British people. And British taxpayer funds should be spent exclusively for the benefit of British people. The British welfare state should be available exclusively for British people. And it is an incendiary slap in the face for every working man and woman in this country that British taxpayers have been forced to spend £15 billion, billion with a B, on universal credit welfare payments to foreign households in the last 18 months alone. Just think of the state-of-the-art hospitals that money could build, the thousands of police officers it could put on our streets, or just think of the tax cuts it could deliver struggling British families. And again, I want to make a crystal clear promise. We will stop this hemorrhage of our national wealth. A reform government will immediately terminate welfare payments to foreign nationals. Now, in recent weeks, Labour has gone to war with itself about changing the rules around indefinite leave to remain. Even the Labour Home Secretary can see that the looming catastrophe of the Boris wave is set to bankrupt Britain unless urgent action is taken. Boris Johnson, of course, you may remember him. He promised to take back control of our borders. Do you remember that? And he did that. And what did he do with that control? He simply threw them open. Over 4 million people arrived in this country in 3 years as a direct result of this man's policies. And the vast majority came here on non-work visas, and most of them came from third world countries. 2 million of these Boris wave migrants will imminently gain indefinite leave to remain in the coming months. That means lifetime access to our welfare state for them and their families. And this is going to cost the British taxpayer hundreds of billions of pounds over the course of their lifetimes. Reform will not allow this. We will avert the Boris wave. A reform government will abolish indefinite leave to remain altogether, and millions of non-contributing migrants the Tories brought to Britain will not be allowed to stay in Britain. And I want to close by saying thank you to all of you. We've already made history together. We've already defied the odds together, defeated many enemies together, all because of you. And the path ahead remains long and treacherous. The attacks from every possible angle will only grow. But we need your help to ensure, firstly, that we have a full slate of candidates for the local elections here in May. This is your chance to join us in the cockpit and chart a course with us to save the country that we love. So if you're interested and are willing to step up, please see a member of our team as you leave tonight. And I promise you that if we stay the course, if we stick together, if we find it in ourselves to rise to this moment, then we will sweep the board again in May, we will win the next general election, and together we will change the course of British history. Thank you very much, everyone.
Zia, thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us nicely to our final speaker. Who could that possibly be, I wonder? Well, he's a man not afraid of a political fight. He took on Nat West and he won. He took on YouGov, and guess what? He won. And at the next election, ladies and gentlemen, he will take on the establishment, and make no mistake, he will win. Soon he will make history when he becomes the next British Prime Minister. Before we meet him, let's see him in action.
We are all ships rising on a turquoise tide, headed towards winning the next general election. This government is deep in crisis. They are not fit to govern. The Conservative Party are riven. There is a new, strong, unified party, the party that stands up for decent, working people, and we are the party on the rise. The energy has been unbelievable. The enthusiasm has been extraordinary. You are the people's army.
Reform is now in government. And the big shout-out message, and it's very, very clear, is if you vote reform, you get reform. And when it comes to country, of what a nation is, this is where I do personally want to confront the Prime Minister head on.
No one cares more about the state of this country than I do.
There is nobody more determined than me.
But I tell you what, folks, that was just the beginning. Thank you very much indeed. Good evening, Sussex! This is incredible. The atmosphere in this room, the coming together of people from across this county, the understanding amongst all of us of just how much trouble our country is in, the dire state we've sunk to, and the understanding of the need for change, for leadership, for courage, for hope, for belief in our country, our people, to fight back against those that have betrayed us and let us down. And we're here tonight because we want to make Britain great again. Now, not everybody on our political circuit these days is doing quite such a good job. I had the misfortune today, and it should be a privilege, shouldn't it? I mean, getting up at Prime Minister's questions should be a privilege. So I got up today to ask a question of our Prime Minister. There's more to come, don't worry, I barely started. I got up today, the Speaker called me to ask a question of the Prime Minister. I said, when you ran for power, you said you would smash the gangs. Remember that? Smash the gangs. That was after Rishi's stopped the boats and Boris's goodness knows what. He was busy with other things, you know. I said, since you became Prime Minister, 70,000 people another 70,000 people have crossed the English Channel, including 1,000 people in the last week alone. Have you read that in the newspapers? Have the BBC covered that for you? Have they held? Nearly all of them young men, undocumented young males, coming in from Afghanistan, coming in from Iran, many of them with attitudes towards women that frankly even we weren't capable of back in medieval times. And some who will wish this country great harm. Some who will pose terrorist threats to our future. And I said to him, as your plan has failed, can you tell me, do you have a plan B? Now, it's called Prime Minister's Questions. But maybe we ought to rebrand it as Prime Minister's Answers and deny and make sure he actually gives some blooming answers. Because once again, he completely ignored me. He started ranting and raving about reform councils across the country and in disgust and against parliamentary convention. And I hope you're not ashamed of me. I got up and I walked out. That's how I feel about this man. We have never in my lifetime had a weaker, more useless Prime Minister, a least patriotic Prime Minister than Keir Starmer, a man who is prepared to take away our rights, our freedoms, our ability to speak freely, who gives away the Chagos Islands. No, he doesn't. He pays to do it. Pays. He's a bloody disgrace. I agree with him. You see, unlike him, I like hecklers in the audience. If anyone wants to give me a hard time, not a problem, hold my jacket. It'll be fine. He's a disgrace, but he also doesn't value and respect democracy. Because last year, here in East and West Sussex, after a 4-year term of Conservative control, and given that you're all council taxpayers, you were due to have your elections, weren't you? Yes. And what happened? They were suspended under the guise of local government reorganisation. But we were assured by none less than Angela Rayner. I mean, she could be our Prime Minister soon, you know. Well, who do you want, Red Ed or Angela Rayner? I mean, it's not much of a choice, is it, really? Because I tell you what, when we succeed on May the 7th, here in Sussex and across the country, Starmer will be gone by the end of May. So, the elections were cancelled and Rayner assured us it's just for 1 year, it'll be okay. And then 2026, May 2026, hove into view. Now 5 years, a year over the 4-year term for which you elected your local councils. And the Labour government said, if you want to cancel the elections again, you can. And guess what? Here in Sussex, the weasels, that's a polite word, I think. I could use another word beginning with L1. Sorry, this is a very serious political meeting. The weasels in East and West Sussex said, please, sir, can we cancel democratic elections again? And the government said yes. And the only reason we are here in this room tonight, the only reason your democratic rights will be exercised on May the 7th, as they should be, and frankly, as those that went before us fought and sacrificed so much for in 2 world wars, for us to live in a free, democratic society where we choose who our leaders are, where we choose whether we can hire them or whether we can fire them. And the only reason these elections across Sussex are going ahead on May the 7th is because I put forward a judicial review to this government. They caved in and we've given you the vote. We are the only party that stands up and fights for our democratic conditions, our rights, as people, our ability to speak freely. We're the only party standing up and saying, stop poisoning the minds of our kids at school about the history of our nation. We're the only party saying we are a country based on Judeo-Christian values, and that is who we are and what we are. And we will respect, as we've always done, we'll respect those that come to live here legally, who integrate with us, who respect us, who obey our law, and if they have their own traditions, their own religions, their own different patterns of worship, we respect that because we're a good, tolerant, decent people. But they do so under our laws and they integrate with our way of life. What happened in Trafalgar Square last Monday goes completely against those democratic norms. It is a direct result of uncontrolled mass migration into our country, started by Tony Blair, and then massively accelerated, as Zia has beautifully just explained to you, under Boris Johnson and the Conservatives. The opening of the doors to 10 million people in the course of 20 years. And some of them, mercifully a small minority, but too many of them, have decided that they will not integrate with our way of life. They wish to impose their way of life upon us. And that is what open public prayer in the historic site of Trafalgar Square last Monday was all about. It was about that religion, that extreme version of Islam, wishing to interpret and put upon us their values, their culture, one in which women are completely excluded, one in which drinking, carousing, dancing, I don't fit in with any of this, do I? They want to impose their way of life upon us, and I say never, ever, ever, we will stand up and frankly, if you don't like the way we live and operate, you can choose not to live here. That is entirely up to you, but we will defend our way of life. Just down the road, little town called Crowborough. Yes. Good Crowborough girl there, I can see. With a flag as well, goodness me. It is monstrous, isn't it? That hundreds of young men who threw their passports and their phones into the English Channel at the 12-mile line so that we could not identify them, are now free to roam the streets of that small East Sussex town. And no one is doing anything about it. And Keir Starmer completely ignored my question about it today in the House of Commons. And as the summer months loom, who's to say that tens of thousands will not come here illegally, be put up in hotels, in houses of multiple occupancy, in old army camps, whatever it is. But what you know is that 95% of them will be allowed to stay and then go straight to the top of the social housing list. It is expensive. It is unfair. It poses a threat to our national security. In too many cases, it poses a threat to women and girls, and you see this, don't you, repeatedly, on the streets of this country, and nobody in the so-called, well, they were called the two main parties, weren't they? They won't be after May the 7th, believe you me. Nobody's got the guts to deal with it. And the judges won't deport anybody. Because under Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights, they say, I've got a cat. My kid likes chicken nuggets. We cannot even begin to deal with the problem of illegal, dangerous immigration in Britain until we do one thing. The Gordian knot we have to cut is very straightforward and very simple, and a reform government will do it in short order. We must leave the European Convention on Human Rights. But we also have to face the fact that we're going bankrupt. The country is going bust. There are no two ways about it, whether it's pubs or shops in your high street to the level of our national debt. We are going bust. And we're deindustrializing at a terrifying pace. Steel production, refining, cement making, chemical making, the list goes on, a list as long as your arm, as millions of jobs are lost in our country because both the Conservatives and Labour have chosen in government to bow down before the god of net zero. Oh yes. Oh yes. We don't produce enough oil or gas. We close down manufacturing. It all moves to India or China. The goods get transported back here. We tell ourselves virtuously we're saving the planet for future generations. All we've done is to export CO2 emissions to the countries that now make goods that we should be making in our country. If we produced our own gas, our own oil, became self-sufficient, became an exporter of energy, we would reindustrialize Britain, have cheaper domestic bills, cheaper industrial bills. And how can it be that Norway, on her side of the North Sea, opened 49 new drilling sites last year and we opened 0? Who's got it right, Norway or us? I think I know the answer. And yet it was the Conservatives that put massive super taxes on companies that took the risk of North Sea exploration. It is Ed Miliband. That's a very quiet boo, I've got to tell you. They're warming up slowly, it's all right. Give them a drink or something, they'll be fine. Who now refuses to give licenses. A reform government will make us self-sufficient in energy, bring down prices, and reindustrialize the workshops of our nation that powered the empire and made us great for many, many decades. But there are other big economic considerations we must think about. The culture of attacking success. The culture of attacking those that set up business. The culture of those that are successful being assaulted has to end. We must teach our young people there is only one way in life to succeed, that is to get up in the morning and work hard and have ambition. Reform voters, get up in the morning and go to work. It is unfair that they're paying more taxes than ever before. And very often their neighbours don't get up till midday. They choose not to work. And then Deliveroo arrives. Then they smoke dope for the afternoon. No wonder the Green Party are doing so well, you know. He is crackers, that guy, isn't he? My goodness me. Popular in Brighton, but I suspect not much in the rest of Sussex, am I right? We've got to get people back to work. We've got to make work pay. We've got to reduce the number of people, young people especially, going onto disability benefits for conditions such as mild anxiety. I have it every morning when I get up. Especially after a drink the night before, you know. A big reversal of culture is needed. Now, here in Sussex, this county, this much neglected and oft ignored county that has been taken for granted, frankly, by the Conservative Party now for many decades, nay, a couple of centuries. Just think about some of the important essential things in this county. Think of the coastline, this extraordinary long coastline. Think of the ports that it's got. You can think of Rye, think of Hastings. Go along, Hastings supporter over there. Eastbourne, New Haven, Shoreham, Brighton, Littlehampton, on to Chichester. There should be Worthing, sorry Worthing. I thought everyone was retired in Worthing, I'm sorry. Oh dear, I'll get slagged off in the press now, won't I? But all these different ports along the Sussex coast, including, of course, the magnificent Sovereign Harbour outside Eastbourne, there should be a thriving inshore fishing industry in Sussex. There should be. If ever there was a Brexit betrayal, it was not taking back our 12-mile territorial water, which should be our birthright. It's outrageous. But along with the coast, so much of this county is, of course, rural. It's farming. And what have the Labour government done? They've launched an assault on our rural communities. Now, I'm a country boy, born one, I've lived one for the whole of my life. The reason that we love our countryside as much as we do is from small families up to great ducal estates. Those that have managed the land have done so not as owners, but as custodians of the land, managing it, working it, to hand it on to the next generation in even better condition than they inherited it. And it's why our countryside is so beautiful. Nothing in our European neighbours even comes near its staggering beauty and sense of stability. And this government decided to launch an all-out war on family farms with its inheritance tax proposals. I think hoping that giant American equity companies would buy up the whole lot and destroy everything about your landscapes here in Sussex. Let me tell you, we are 100%, and I mean it in my heart. I would not say anything to you I don't believe in. We mean it in our heart. We are behind these rural communities. We will stand up for farmers. We will stand up for fishermen. We will stand up for our traditional way of life. 2 years ago, 20 months ago to be precise, I was retired. I'd fought for 27 years, what felt much of it, a singular campaign to separate the United Kingdom from the ghastly European Union. I did it because I believed that the best people to govern Britain were the British people themselves in their own sovereign parliament as a free, independent, proud country. And I fought for that for all those years. And against the odds, you know what? We won. Since that time, successive governments have not grasped the opportunity, have frankly bungled Brexit. Everything from fishing to financial services that could have been made better and more competitive, they have not dealt with. And in my frustration at that, but also in seeing all the values that had built our country and made it what it was, frankly going down the drain, I decided 20 months ago I would re-enter the political fray, come back in as leader of reform. And what has happened since that moment has, in terms of political significance and history, never, ever been equalled or rivaled in any way at all. A new political party that leaps to the front, that is ahead for 200 opinion polls in a row, that is now, and there's a long way to go, but is now odds on to win the next general election. It is a truly remarkable thing. But I am but one person, and I can stand at the front, and I can lead, and I'm not frightened of the attacks or the abuse that I get every day. In fact, I rather enjoy it, actually. But I couldn't do this without lots of people around me. The kinds of people around me that put together presentations. I mean, isn't this incredible? Incredible. And the kinds of people you've seen tonight, David, Zia, and the many, many others that could have been here, Richard, Tice, Suella, Robert Jenrick, you name it. We're building a team. We're building a team. But our real success, and the thing that funded us and got us off the ground, were ordinary folk in Britain who realised something had to be done, which led to, at £25 ago, us building the biggest party membership currently in this country. And people are prepared, not just to give 25 quid, but to stand for us in local council elections, to deliver leaflets for us, to eulogise for us, to spread the message. Now, I want to ask now, all the candidates that are here, who are standing on May the 7th in East and West Sussex, to come and join me on the stage, please. Come and join me. Oh, you're one of the stars now, aren't you? Very, very good. Now, as they make their way up to the stage, I want to say to all of you this. These men and women, most of whom have never, ever been involved in active politics in their lives. One or two have, but most haven't. But tonight, they're going to be joined. They're going to be joined by two people who do have experience. Tonight, we have two defectors from Wealdon District Council, David Greaves and Neil Cleaver, who today will defect to us from the Conservative Party. Will they come and join me now, please?
Again first.
Good evening, Sussex. I'm Councillor Neil Cleaver, and I represent Howsham on Wealdon District Council. My roles on Wealdon District Council are Scrutiny Committee, Major Planning Committee, and I am the Armed Forces Champion. I am defecting from the Conservative Party because for the last year I strongly believe the party has not listened to the public, and I believe the Reform Party has listened to the public and has a very strong leader and the team behind him. Our country is broken, and it is due, firstly, overdevelopment of our villages and towns. Secondly, the water authorities, South East Water and Southern Water. Thirdly, not enough doctors, dentists and schools. And last of all, our country's roads, especially around here. This is why I'm defecting from the Reform Party and putting British people first.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Greaves, and for the last 3 years I have been the Conservative Councillor for South Downs Ward within Wealdon District Council.
Not for much longer, though.
Not for much longer. I have witnessed Britain's decline for the whole of my life. This has been driven by a relentless drift to the left by both major parties, parties which seem determined to destroy our country. You will have heard the expression, broken Britain, and there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that we are pretty close to the point of no return. The mess at national level has spilled over to local level. We only have to look around us to see the decay and decline which affects us in all our lives. It is only Reform UK that offers the appropriate solutions to get Britain back on track. This is why I have decided to ditch the Conservative Party, and I shall wear a Reform rosette from now on. Reform UK is promising a future which includes leaving the ECHR, dealing with immigration, legal. That makes it complete. Dealing with immigration, legal and illegal, deporting those who should not be here, defending our country, prioritising the needs of British people over foreign nationals, reducing taxation and supporting farming, business and enterprise, putting an end to the net zero putting an end to the net zero madness that is crippling this country and reopen the North Sea again. And finally, of course, reversing Keir Starmer's duplicitous reset agreements with the EU. All of this is exactly what we need to put this country back on the path to recovery, and I'm delighted to be representing Reform UK within Wealdon District Council. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much indeed. So, we have some experience, we have lots and lots of newbies. We couldn't even get all the candidates standing here in Sussex on the 7th of May on the stage. There are others lined up before you. Ladies and gentlemen, these men and women have decided to stand up and be counted. These men and women realise the trouble our country is in. My question to you is, are you prepared to stand up and do your bit too? I couldn't hear you. Are you prepared? Good. Thank you very much indeed. Good night.